Hello everyone, and welcome back to Steins Gate. I'm G, and we are about to do the unthinkable. We are about to continue on the path towards whatever salvation we may have for Mayuri by undoing Ruka's entire identity. Yay! That's a feel-good moment. Will you remember me? Oh boy. Alright, let's begin. The address book. Yes, phone wave. Call the phone wave. Ruka places her finger on top of mine. On top of the send button.
Thank you, Okabe-san. Farewell, my love.
Chapter 9. Endless Apoptosis. Oh boy. The warmth of Rukako's hand slips away as the vertigo hits me. I'm still at the shrine, but I no longer feel Rukako clinging to my back. I turn around slowly. Rukako is standing a short distance away, as if to see me off. No tears, just a bewildered smile. My chest feels like it's about to burst. I hold it back. Hey, Rukako.
Yes?
I hesitate for a moment, but I have to know. You're a guy, right?
Yes?
She's gone. He has returned. Cuter than any girl. Looks good in Miko robes. But he's a guy. I bite my lip. Do you like me?
What? I don't understand.
Do you like me?
I respect you.
He respects me? I don't deserve his respect. But that's not what matters now. Rukako's answer seems clear, but wasn't. He didn't answer the question.
If I change back into a guy, I'll have to hide my feelings for you.
Rukako might still like me, even though he's a guy again. However, he'll never speak honestly about those feelings. This is what Rukako decided for himself. It would be wrong to pry any further. Maybe I'm just running away. Maybe I should pry, force him to confront his feelings. But I'm not strong enough to accept consequences. I'll just end up hurting Rukako. Thanks. You are my disciple, now and forever. Agreed?
Yes, of course I am.
I look away, unable to bear his shy smile. The world line has changed. Rukako is a guy again. Which means the IBN 5100 should be here at the shrine. On the previous world line, Goro Rukako broke the IBN 5100 while cleaning the storehouse. But Guy Rukako didn't clean the storehouse. He never broke the IBN 5100. It's 6:46 p.m. Judging by past experience, it is very likely that I have averted Mayuri's death for today, but just in case, I should get back to the lab within the hour. Rukako, do you remember breaking an old computer in the shrine storehouse last year?
An old computer? No, I don't remember anything like that. I don't really understand computers. I haven't played with them much.
When Rukako was a girl, she trembled when I asked her the same question. And then she forced a smile as if to avoid admitting that she broke the computer. But he's not trembling now. Rukako honestly doesn't know. Go get your father for me. I asked Rukako to fetch his father for me so I can ask him whether or not the IBN 5100 was in the storehouse. An old computer. Yes, I do remember. I'll go check. Please wait a moment. He heads into the storeroom out back, just like on the previous world line. But on the previous world line, the IBN 5100 was no longer in the storehouse, since girl Rukako had secretly moved it. How will it turn out this time? Ruka's dad returns after about 10 minutes. His expression is grave. That's all the answer I need. Nothing has changed. It's gone. I couldn't find it anywhere.
I quickly glance at Rukako's face. Blank. He doesn't seem to know anything.
Rukako is innocent, I'm sure of it. The lock to the storehouse was broken. Someone may have stolen it.
Stolen it? It didn't disappear? A thief took it?
There's evidence someone dragged something heavy away. That wasn't there at the end of year cleaning, and the lock wasn't broken when I checked last month. I never expected a thief would break in.
Then shouldn't we report it to the police? While they discuss what to do, I sigh and consider the situation. This isn't going to work. The IBN 5100 is still out of reach. There are 2 D-mails left to cancel. Something tells me that if I cancel just one more, I can get back the IBN 5100. But which one? Okabe-san, I don't really understand, but please don't be sad. Just go, it matters not, like you always do. I chuckle. Rukako's so adorable when he's trying to cheer me up. But he's a guy.
You're using that phrase wrong, you know?
I wave goodbye and leave the shrine. 2 D-mails remain. First, the one I sent to myself with the winning lotto 6 numbers. That one should be easy to cancel. The problem is the other one, the one sent by someone I wish I could forget. Kiryu Moeka. I know the gist of her D-mail since she sent it as part of our early experiments. When Moeka asked to send a D-mail, I agreed under 2 conditions. First, make the content simple enough that the D-mail's effects would be obvious. Second, make the contents public to all lab mems. Moeka ended up sending a D-mail to prevent herself from buying a new phone a few days prior. The D-mail was sent to July 31st, an easy date to remember. The question is how it relates to the theft of the IBN 5100. It must be the butterfly effect, as it was with Rukako's D-mail. This time, however, I will not hesitate to do what is necessary. Kiryu Moeka does not deserve my sympathy. That woman and her men have killed Mayuri more times than I can bear to remember. I will show her no mercy. There's just one problem. The cancellation D-mail needs to be sent from Moeka's own phone. I don't think a message from me telling her not to change phones would sway Moeka's intentions in the slightest. I need her phone, but I don't know where to find her. What do I do? I return to the lab and set things up so I can time leap at a moment's notice. Fortunately, that isn't necessary. Phew, I'm stuffed. I barely ate today, so I was hungry. Is there more tomorrow? Yeah, and the day after too. Mayuri just got back from Komima 30 minutes ago. She and Kurisu, who stayed behind at the lab, have just finished eating cup noodles. It's already past 8, and so far, nothing has happened. Mayuri is still alive. Going by the pattern, her death has probably been postponed until about this time tomorrow. Is this the will of some higher being? God? Fate? The universe itself? Or is it merely coincidence? That doesn't matter now. Okie dokie, Mayushi's got an early day tomorrow, so I'm going home. Mayuri takes a big stretch and starts getting ready to go home. She's been up since 5 this morning. Looks like she plans to wake up early tomorrow, too. That reminds me, I haven't seen Daru at all. He's fighting in the Komima Holy War too, so that doesn't surprise me. Busy checking his spoils, I guess. Hey guys, why don't you come too? I'll pass, but my assistant looks like she wants to go. What? Kurisu jumps up at my answer. Hey, don't put words in my mouth. I saw your eyes sparkling while you listened to Mayuri's cosplay stories. Maybe, but nobody said anything about going. Come on, Christian! I know that Kurisu is an at channeler, but is she an otaku? Not all at channelers are otaku, but she has often hinted of an interest in cosplay. No way, I'd suffocate in a crowd like that. It's not as crowded on day 2. If you're worried, come in the afternoon. All the popular stuff will be sold out, though. You go, Okabe. You're Mayuri's guardian, aren't you? No, Mayushi's Okarin's hostage. Oh, right. That's what it was. Well, you don't want your hostage to escape, do you? Shouldn't you take her along in handcuffs or something?
I've got business in Akiba.
What do you mean, business?
The search for Kiryu Moeka. I already sent her an email. We need to talk. And now I'm awaiting her reply. Something tells me it's not going to work.
No answer? I guess it was just an excuse.
Christina, we need to talk.
Again? Abrupt as usual.
What do you mean again?
Nothing. What you gonna talk about? You two have been really close lately, huh? You're always talking together. Maybe really wants to join in on your secret meetings and stuff.
Don't worry, we've been talking about the time leap machine. It would just be gibberish to you. Not entirely accurate, but not a lie either. Besides, the purpose of this particular discussion is to convince Christina to attend Komima. Prepare for good news, Mayuri. Mwahaha!
Okay, thanks, Okain.
Mayuri waits in the lab as I take Kurisu outside. So, Christina.
I'm not going to Komima.
You said again just now. We've talked like this before, just the two of us?
Losing your memory now? Does our mad little scientist have an
acetylcholine. Yeah.
acetylcholine deficiency?
I'm being serious.
You're acting weird today. What's going on?
Please, I need to know.
I mean, yeah, this is like the 5th time you've brought me outside to talk about the time leap machine.
Have we talked about my time leaping? For an instant, Kurisu opens her eyes wide in surprise. But then, she gives me an angry glare.
You're time leaping?
I nod. More than a dozen times already.
That many? What the hell are you doing?
Looks like she doesn't know anything about Rukako or my shifting between world lines. But that's only natural. So far, I've changed world lines a total of 3 times. Let's call the first world line where Mayuri died Alpha 1. The world line where Ferris and I fought the viral attackers is Alpha 2. The world line where I dated girl Rukako is Alpha 3. And now, I'm on Alpha 4. From my perspective, Alpha 1, Alpha 2, and Alpha 3 were undone by my D-mails. But for Kurisu and everyone else on Alpha 4, those world lines were nothing but separate, intangible possibilities to begin with. I guess I have to explain everything again. I sigh heavily, then begin.
I think I get it.
After I'm done, Kurisu sighs and lightly pats my arm.
Don't wear yourself out.
It's a disgrace to be comforted by my assistant.
Why are you always like that? I'm even trying to be nice. You're really full of yourself, you know?
I don't need your sympathy. Everything that happened is my fault. I'm just getting what I deserve. Come to think of it, every time I explain this to you, I always end up hating myself in the end.
Okabe.
Don't worry about me. Worry about Mayuri. Mayuri will probably die tomorrow. I don't know how it will happen. If Mayuri stays away from the lab, she can probably avoid running into Moeka and her men. It doesn't matter, though. She'll die all the same. All Alpha world lines converge upon her death. Escaping the attractor field is the only way to save her. Sorry about this, but I want you to be there when she dies tomorrow night.
That's why you want me to go to Komima?
There's nothing we can do to prevent her death. Just stay close and tell me when it happens. Once I know, I'll make the time leap.
I can't believe there's nothing we can do. It just doesn't feel real, but it's the truth, isn't it? I can see it in your eyes. Are you okay?
No. I still haven't saved my...
I know, that's not what I meant.
Kurisu interrupts me.
Are you okay?
I don't follow.
You're carrying an awful burden.
It's rare for her to look so concerned for me. I told you not to worry about me. It's Mayuri you need to worry about. Tomorrow I'm going to look for Moeka. If Mayuri doesn't die tomorrow, I can postpone the time leap. If Mayuri does die tomorrow, I'll return to the past no matter what. I wish there were some way that Mayuri wouldn't have to suffer.
Then why don't you time leap now? I can't plan effectively without knowing the deadline. I don't want to see Mayuri die either, you know? I know how you feel, but you're the only one I can ask. Where'd all this trust come from? You're my assistant, after all. Kurisu forces a laugh at my feeble attempt at a joke. You're so full of yourself. We have our plan. Kurisu will go to her first komima. Mayuri will be so delighted when I tell her the news. I haven't seen Mayuri all day. Oh, I have mail! Assistant. I have no idea it would be this crowded. Save me! Orders. Joining up with Mayuri, we're heading out to Ariake. Kinda excited, lol. And Mayuri. Morning, Okarin! I'm heading off now. Yay. Oh, that's the Pursue Suzuha. I want to be with her, of course, but that's not possible. Mocha hasn't replied, which means I have to find her myself. Unfortunately, I don't know anything about her. My only clue is Arc Rewrite, the company Mocha supposedly worked at. I find it after a quick search online. Sure enough, their business is producing articles for PC magazines. Luckily, their office is in Akiba. I try calling first, but it goes to voicemail. I guess they're still closed for the Obon holiday. Or maybe it's just a bad time? Looks like I've got no choice but to visit them in person. It's the second day of Komima, and Akiba is deserted. Most of the otaku are lined up at Big Sight right now. I've experienced the craze of Komima several times firsthand. It's literal war. It scares me whenever Mayuri goes alone. I can't help but imagine her trampled by a horde of crazed otaku. But in reality, Mayuri's surprisingly quick and tough. I've seen her weave through crowds like you wouldn't believe. Kurisu's the one more likely to get trampled. I can't help but feel sorry for her. Maybe it was wrong to ask her to go. I find the Arc Rewrite office in a fancy-looking building on the outskirts of Akiba. I take the elevator up, but there's nobody there. I lean against the wall and wait. After about 30 minutes, a man dressed in shirt and tie appears. I explain that I'm a relative of Kiryu Mocha and ask for her contact info. But he gives an unexpected answer.
We don't have an employee by that name.
You don't? Damn, I've been tricked! I should have known better. Mocha is working for CERN. Of course her place of employment is fake. Is this the end of the line? Just as I'm about to turn around and leave, the man pounds his hand as if he remembered something.
Wait a second. There was a girl who worked here just 2 days before disappearing. I think her name might have been Kiryu. We might still have a resume.
I frantically bow my head and ask him to look for it. He's reluctant, but acquiesces. The address listed on the resume leads me to a beat-up old apartment. Not the sort of place you'd expect a single young woman to live. I feel a strange unease as I approach the apartment. For some reason, there's a police car parked in front of the complex. A uniformed officer is standing out front. And one room on the second floor, room 202, Moeka's, has a blue sheet covering the door. What's going on here? I walk up to the police officer. Excuse me, did the person who lives here move?
Huh? No.
Then...
Are you related?
I knew her.
You haven't heard?
The police officer looks uncomfortable. The bad feeling in my gut is getting worse. What happened?
Suicide.
What? Suicide? But why? When?
Yesterday.
No way.
They took her to Chiyoda 3rd Central Hospital. Doesn't look like she had any relatives. We don't know who to notify. Will you go see the body?
I bow my thanks and leave. She's dead? Moeka's dead? What's going on? It doesn't make sense. Suicide? Moeka, who killed Mayuri in cold blood, committed suicide? Or is this part of the conspiracy? Could her own men have killed her, then made it look like a suicide? Today is the 16th. On Worldline Alpha 1, Moeka raided the lab on the 13th. 3 days have passed since then. Each time I change world lines, Mayuri's death gets pushed back 1 day. So does Moeka's raid. It hasn't happened yet on this world line. So why did she die? I don't get it. This is the first time this has happened. How should I deal with this? What should I do? I squat on the ground and cradle my head in confusion. If Molika is dead, maybe Mayuri doesn't have to die. No, I don't think convergence is that kind. Fate demands Mayuri's death. Whenever I try to stop it, something interferes. True, I'm the one who meddled with the timeline, but haven't I paid the price already? How did all this happen? A few weeks ago, I was just a college student with a severe case of chunibyo. Save for Mayuri's grandmother, I had never experienced the death of anyone close to me. Death had no place in my life. But how many times have I faced death these past 3 days? More, when you count the loops I've made. My heart can't take it anymore. I don't know how much longer I can go on. One more. Just one more D-mail to cancel. If I can just get my hands on Molika's phone. Time leap. Molika died yesterday around noon. I can go back to before that happened. The reason she died isn't important. Whether Mayuri's murderer kills herself is of no concern to me. I just need to cancel that D-mail. Upon returning to the lab, I casually look up at the second floor window. And what I see shocks me to my core. Electrical discharge? Someone is using the time leap machine. Who? Mayuri and Daru should be at Komima. Not even Kurisu should be here. I asked her to escort Mayuri yesterday. Besides, she's against changing the past. So who? The building shakes. The vibration reaches the street. I can't let this happen. The timeline mustn't be tampered with again. I need to stop it now. I race up the stairs to the lab. By the time I get there, the shaking has stopped. I quietly peek into the development room. Nobody's there. The door was unlocked. Anyone could have walked right in. How could we be so careless? The time leap machine is still faintly warm. So somebody did use it. Who? Did they time leap? This is the first time someone else has used the time leap machine. Just to make sure, I checked the X68000. As expected, the history's been erased. The same thing happens when we send an email. There's nothing I can do about this. It worries me, but I have to focus on Molika. I set up the time leap machine. The maximum time leap is 48 hours. To leap more than that, you need to leap 48 hours and then leap again. The 42-inch CRT is on downstairs. That's plain as day since the discharge phenomenon just occurred. I put on the headgear. Preparations complete. Should I really leave now? Don't be ridiculous. Of course I should. Why am I getting prompted? What? Don't be ridiculous. Of course I should. Just a little more and I can save my area once and for all. I know what will happen if I don't leave now. Maya will die and I will taste that pain and despair once again. And then I will leap. It's the same either way. I close my phone. There's no need to rush. Calm down. I can endure the pain if need be. I should exploit my one advantage, the time leap machine, to the fullest extent possible, and that means knowing exactly when Mayuri will die. The pattern suggests that Mayuri's death should happen around 7 or 8 tonight. But things are a little different this time. Molika killed herself before Mayuri was scheduled to die. How much influence will that have on convergence? There's a chance Mayuri won't die. We might already have won. In that case, I shouldn't waste my effort time leaping. I have no obligation to save Molika. I'll wait until Kurisu contacts me. It's 12:30 now. There's still about 7 hours left. I hear nothing but the slow, steady tick of the clock. The sound is echoing inside my head. Even if I plug my ears, it doesn't stop. I spent several hours searching for the IBM 5100, but as expected, I found nothing. I still can't imagine how Molika's D-mail affected the computer's whereabouts. What does her phone model have to do with anything? Does keeping the same phone somehow tell her that there's an IBM 5100 at Yanabayashi Shrine? That doesn't make any sense. Even the butterfly effect must have limits. But on the other hand, truth is often stranger than fiction. Sometimes the simplest things have consequences that no one could ever imagine. So I can't rule it out entirely either.
In other words, I have nothing. I twist my lips into a sneer of self-mockery. It's 7:46 p.m., the moment of truth. If Mayuri is indeed fated to die today, I should be hearing from Kurisu soon. I hope nothing happens. All that I ask is to hear Mayuri's voice, to know once and for all if she is safe. Oh, there it is. Hello?
Okabe, she's... why? I don't...
Kurisu is sobbing. So I know, even without asking. She saw Mayuri die.
I saw it happen. She's dead. Mayuri's dead. This can't be... She suddenly collapsed. Why? It doesn't make sense. She's not breathing. She won't answer at all. Please, Mayuri. Okabe, what do I do? Help. Please, Mayuri is dead.
I'm sorry for making you go through this. With that, I hang up the phone. Maybe it's because I didn't see it happen, or maybe my heart has simply grown numb. But this time I don't feel much pain. I hate myself for it. I pound my fist against the table. As expected, the deadline is around 8 p.m. on the 16th. Unless I change the world line before the time limit, Mayuri will die. I put on the headgear and activate the time leap machine. I must obtain Moeka's phone, no matter what it takes. I make several consecutive leaps to travel back to the 11th. When I arrive, it's just past 8 p.m. I'm heading out. I leave the lab without waiting for the others to respond. I head to Moeka's ratty apartment. There's no sign of the police this time. Moeka's suicide won't happen for another 4 days. I run up the iron stairs and stand in front of the door to Unit 202. The lights aren't on inside. I start getting anxious. Maybe she's not here. There's no intercom, so I reluctantly knock on the door. No reply. I try again with the same result. Damn, might as well try the doorknob. Ooh, let's see who that is. Mayuri.
Are you coming back to the lab today?
I don't know, but don't worry. You don't have to worry about anything. Oh boy. That's not ominous. Oh boy. It's unlocked. I take a deep breath. This could be a trap. Remember, we're not dealing with an ordinary person. Moeka is a rounder, an agent of CERN. If I die here, what will happen to Mayuri? Will Kurisu or Daru use the time leap machine to save her? I need to be careful. But at the same time, I can't save Mayuri by doing nothing. So I steel myself, open the door, and peek inside. The apartment is dark, too dark to see. But I feel someone's presence. I step inside. The apartment is practically empty. Minimal furnishings, only the barest necessities of life. But there, by the window, is a figure in the moonlight. A woman is sitting on the floor, her head bowed. There's no one else here. I approach the woman and stare down at her, gritting my teeth in a desperate effort to maintain control. Ever since the first time she killed Mayuri, I've tried my best to avoid thinking about this woman. But now, I have no choice. I can't accomplish my goal until I have the answers I need from her. I must obtain the IBN 5100 to escape the Alpha Attractor Field and rescue Mayuri. Kiryu Moeka. I had another name for her once. It hurts to remember. I forced it to the back of my mind. Can you hear me? Moeka's fingers twitch. She sluggishly lifts her head. But she doesn't look up. She stares at my feet instead.
Who?
She finally speaks in a frail voice. Moeka has always had trouble speaking, but it seems especially severe today. I notice her hair and clothes are disheveled. She looks awful, though I suppose it's no surprise, given that she kills herself in 4 days.
FB? Is that you? FB? I've heard that name before. If I'm not mistaken, that's her superior's codename.
Why won't you contact me? I did everything you told me to.
The phone in Mocha's hand glows faintly. She's still clinging to it, I see.
Did I do something wrong? I'll fix it, I promise. Just don't abandon me. I'll do anything for you, FB. Please answer me. Give me orders. I'll obey. Tell me what to do. Tell me. Tell me.
I'm at a loss for words. I wasn't expecting to find her in such a miserable state. She was so cold, so calm when she killed Mayuri. It's like she's a different person now. Is this another effect of the world line change? But it's only been a week since she sent her D-mail. How could she have changed so much? I get on my knees and shake Mocha by the shoulders. Hey, can you hear me? Hey!
FB, why won't you answer?
Kiryu Mocha! Hey, it's me, Okabe! No response. Mocha just keeps crying and mumbling to herself. I shake harder, but she doesn't react. She doesn't even resist. Looking down, I notice that she's typing rapidly on her phone. Bewildered, I look at the screen. FB, 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 FB. What the? What happened to Mocha? From what little I understand, it sounds like she's lost her contact with her supervisor, FB. But I don't understand how that could turn Mocha into such a wreck. It doesn't matter. I don't care what happens to her. I'm here for one thing. Recalling my purpose, I reach for Mocha's phone.
No!
A sharp crack echoes through the room. Mocha slapped my hand away. It didn't hurt, but her reaction was lightning quick. Now Mocha curls up into a ball, hugging the phone tightly to her chest. It was like this from the moment I met her. She never let go of her phone, not even for a second, as if it were the only thing keeping her alive.
No mails. No mails.
You mean from FB?
No mails.
I make several more attempts to take her phone while she babbles incoherently, but she just slaps my hand away each time. Next, I try persuasion. I promise to help her search for FB if she lends me her phone. It's a lie, of course, but come to think of it, I would like a piece of FB too. But that can wait until after I've saved Mayuri. But Mocha doesn't buy it. If, that is, she heard me at all. Damn it, we're not getting anywhere. Maybe I should take it from her by force. But what if she tries to kill me before I can send the D-mail? In her current state, she might not have the strength to retaliate. On the other hand, if she does retaliate, there's not much I can do against someone with a gun. What should I do? Her gun. Where would she keep it? I quickly scan the room, but there's no sign of it. Crap, that startled me! Hello? I stand up and move to the entrance, where I can take the call without letting Mocha out of my sight.
Where are you?
Sorry, I'm busy.
Is it woman? You're with a woman, aren't you?
Is that the first thing that comes to mind? You really are a mainstream girl.
Shut up. You promised you'd help with the phone wave, remember? Or is your lab number just for show?
Get Daru to help. I can't do it today.
What are you doing? Where are you?
Kiryu Mocha's apartment.
So you are with a woman. You're the worst.
Has she not met Mocha on this world line? I quickly give Kurisu a simplified version of the usual explanation. Kurisu listens attentively as she always does. Maybe she's more considerate than I give her credit for. As soon as I finish, Kurisu gives it to me straight.
You have to take it from her by force.
You've seen too many Hollywood movies.
You're up against an agent of CERN. Play nice and you could end up dead. Don't hesitate. Remember, you're doing this to save Mayuri. I know you're pretty weak and scrawny, but you should be able to handle her in her current state.
Gee, thanks. At least she's not beating around the bush. Suddenly, she lowers her voice.
You might think I'm a monster for saying this. Not that I care what you think, but... kill her if you have to.
You're a monster. But you're not a hypocrite, and that's what I love about you, Christina.
Love?
What's the matter with her now? I mean it. I wish my conviction were as strong as yours.
Well, thanks.
But that's not all, right? There's a reason you're willing to suggest murder as an option. How did you reach that conclusion?
Good, you're still thinking. I can't be certain whether your story is true. I don't quite understand this attractor field hypothesis. But based on what you told me, if this Kiryu woman commits suicide 4 days from now, that means her death flag is already active. In other words, this world line has approved her death. On previous world lines where that wasn't the case, you probably couldn't have killed her even if you tried. Something would have happened to prevent it. Or possibly killing her would have caused a dramatic shift in world line divergence. But on this specific world line, her death is already certain. As you've experienced with Mayuri's death, the result is what matters, not the process. I believe the same applies to Kiryu. It doesn't matter how she dies.
In other words, I can kill her instead of letting her commit suicide?
She's already going to die, so that makes it okay.
That's the kind of argument a murderer would make.
Don't be a hypocrite. We're not talking about right and wrong here, Okabe.
She's unforgiving as always, but it actually feels nice to speak frankly like this. But what about the law? Even if fate forgives me, society won't.
As long as you have the time leap machine, you can undo anything, even murder. The result will be that you gain the necessary information without killing anybody.
I understand.
Phew. Just remember one thing. You're responsible for what you do. I guess that's quite a thing for me to say, huh? After telling you to kill her.
It's fine. Your advice was truly becoming of a mad scientist.
Get it done, Okabe. Bye.
She hangs up without another word. Strangely, I find Kurisu's harsh tone encouraging. Who does she think she is? A general? I manage to smirk as I close my phone. Future G here again. Yet another situation where the episode went on a little bit longer than anticipated due to a continuous scene that you will see next episode. So, I think that this is a good place to cut it. So thank you all so much for following my playthrough of Steins Gate, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye now!